بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وبه نستعين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا رحمة للعالمين بالقاسم محمد والصلاة والسلام على أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم صل على محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. All praise and glory belongs to Allah, the creator of this universe, the one who has chosen one particular creation out of all of his creations to have the potential to be able to become a representative of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This being that has been given the weakest body. When I say the weakest, maybe somebody can take it in absolute, so we can say one of the weakest. But I can tell you that your body is weaker than an ant. An ant, the amount of weight that it can lift of its size, if you were to able to lift that, you could probably lift any car in the parking lot. The immune system that you and I have, a crocodile has 10 times stronger immune system than of a human being. If you go look into the animal kingdom, you'll see that in carbon-based bodies, a human body is one of the weakest. But on the other side, he has given that soul which has the potential to be able to become the best of the creations.
Inshallah, Bismillah.
Right. And then he has given a nature which belongs to him. فطرة الله التي فطر الناس عليها لا تبديل لخلق الله. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given the same inclinations as of his to human beings, and there is no change in his creation. When you look at on one side, you have the soul which has the potential to become the best of the best and is one of the strongest creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Look at the spectrum. And on the other side, you have the carbon-based body, which is one of the weakest bodies in the creation in the three-dimensional world that we have, right? And in the middle, you have the inclinations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Looking at this, a person can assume or detect or make an educated guess that there will be problems, right? If you were to go towards one side, right, you can fall to the lowest of the low. Because now the inclination that you have from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that inclination wants you to be the most powerful. It wants you to be the only one. If those inclinations are utilized by this weakest body, then of course you're going to see the facade that you see around us. The trouble that you find in the world today is because of this design that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given. But what was meant for was that a person from their own choice lifts themselves up, gets to the A'la Aliyin, gets to be the best of the best creation, guided by 124,000 prophets' teachings, plus their successors, which are Masumin al-Muslim.
Ya jiwa, mashallah.
Right. But what happened to us? What did we do? You know, you tend to think like, where did we go wrong? Human beings that have all of this, what happened to them? Why is it that today they are living a life which is even lower than the animals? And the reason for that is that they do not feel the need of the guidance that has been ordained from them, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for the betterment of humanity on the face of this earth. As long as human beings do not understand and accept that this guidance is the only savior that they have to be able to come to that point of peace and justice, they're not going to be able to find another system. But religion has been made into an ideology rather than a way of life. Right? When you change religion from, a way of life to ideology, then basically you have to still choose a way of life. And the way of life that you're going to choose either is going to be capitalism, it will be socialism, it will be communism, it will be Marxism, it will be, any of the isms that you find today. And throughout the history, you can see that all of these isms are failing. And people are realizing that there has to be, and I'll use the term because it has been used and the youths have already heard it, that there should be, and when I use this term, just take it, that there should be a new world order, meaning there should be another system. The capitalism has failed, socialism has failed, communism has failed, and every other system that comes about is failing. I mean, if you want to see the fail of democracy, just look at the country that is, tooting their horn for democracy and wanting democracy everywhere. Just look at the leader that they have chosen. Right? If you look at that, the leader that they have chosen reflects on their system and the mentality of the people. That person, you would not be even willing to invite that individual to your own home. They've given the seat where a few buttons would destroy the whole world. Right? And these are the facts. It's not a political statement. It's not leaning towards the left or the right. This is the fact that you can see all around you. So we mentioned to you yesterday that there is a practical aspect of the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? And that has to be something that it has to be embraced. We are not embracing it. We are stuck so much into the features that we have not looked upon the benefits. With me? Can you name me a feature of Islam? One of the features of Islam. When you're okay, maybe we'll spend 5 more minutes on this. When you buy a car, there are features. When you buy a phone, there are features. Right? You buy an S8 or you buy a 8S, I'm not sure if you're Apple or Samsung. They'll come out like 2-3 weeks in advance, a month in advance, 2 months, even as soon as the one phone is out, they will start putting it out on YouTube and everywhere, the features of the next phone, the next big thing. One of the features of Islam is Salah. A Muslim reads namaz. Right? A Christian doesn't read namaz. The Salah that we have, a Muslim reads. Right? A Muslim does not eat pork. What is that? With me or you're gone? Yeah? What is that? A Muslim not eating pork? Is that it's a feature. Right? We are so much, okay. One of the features of the Azaa of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu. What is one of the features? What is one of the features of the Azaa of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu? You see it around you. You see the alam, right? You see the black clothes that you're wearing. You see the niyaz, right? The reciter, right? the people who come and do the poetry, the matam, all of that, these are the features of Aza. And we are so much involved in the features, we have stopped looking towards the benefits. And as long as those features are there, we're happy with it. But we don't ask ourselves, what is the benefit of that alam that we have? What is the benefit of the matam that we have? What is the benefit of salah that we have? What is the benefit of not eating pork that we have? What is the benefit of the Quran that we recite? What is the benefit of giving food to the people, to the individuals that come for the mourning of Imam Hussain? What is the benefit of inviting a reciter? What is the benefit of the poetry that we do? We're so much stuck in the features that we're not looking towards the benefits. Once we start looking at the benefits, then we can start realizing whether we are receiving them or not. Right? So just looking at the features of any religion, you can say, okay, these are the features of Christianity, these are the features of Judaism, these are the features of Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given these features for a benefit. Where? For which benefit? Of this world or the hereafter? For the hereafter. Then what about how are you going to live your life here? That's our problem. As we mentioned to you yesterday, that we've kept a religion for the hereafter, when in reality all of these features that were given in the guidance of 124,000 prophets was for the benefit of the life that you and I live in, the carbon-based body that you and I have. Salah was supposed to have the benefit for you in this world. The reason why it has been made obligatory is because we do not see the benefits. Therefore Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, you must do it. You must do it. And in order for us to be motivated to be able to do it, He says, if you do it, just like our parents do. A child does not like to drink milk, for example. Some children don't like to drink milk. And when the father or the mother wants them to drink milk, what do they say? They say, please drink it. If you drink it, I'll give you a chocolate. Right? And if you don't drink it, nowadays it's the word of grounding. In our days it was something else. Right? So the child who does not understand the benefits that are hidden inside of milk, the responsibility of parents is to make sure that that child drinks that milk, makes an obligation, and motivates by gain or loss. These are the only two motivators out there, is either gain or loss. So what we had done, right, we looked at salah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, you pray, I will give you heaven. You don't pray, then hell. Right? Heaven, chocolate. Hell, grounding. Okay? And we looked at those two, and as the child is not still understanding the benefit in the milk, gets focused on the chocolate. Gets focused on the grounding. As the child matures, realizes that in order to, when you drink milk, the benefit is for your own self. You don't need to be motivated by gain or loss. The act of drinking milk in itself has so many benefits that you don't need any other motivation. Do you get it? Yes. If I was to ask one of the 70-year-olds, uncles, or grandfathers, our fathers, if I was to say to them, can you please come here and recite Quran, I'll give you 50 pounds. Guess what that uncle is going to do? He's going to say, yeah, what do you think I am? A child? You think you need to motivate me for 50 pounds for me to be able to recite Quran? I know what is the benefit of reciting Quran in itself. I do not need the motivation of 50 pounds. And where are we? We're still stuck in that childish attitude towards the religion. Not just us, every religion. Every religion has made the purpose of religion as heaven or hell. When in reality, they are not the purpose. When in reality, that's just the gain or the loss of the motivators. The actual purpose of religion was something else. The benefit of religion was something else. Right? You get it or no?
Yes.
You got it? So in salah is a benefit. Salah is a feature of Islam, but salah has its benefit. And when we mature and we become big enough as human beings, we will say, "Oh Allah, I do not need to pray for the sake of this heaven that you are promising me. I do not need to pray so that I can avoid hell. I will pray that salah because I find you worthy of worship." Right? And I'm a Muslim, and Salam's worship was of that kind. You know? When you look at the traditions, they say there are three types of worshippers. One worshipper is a slave who is afraid of the hellfire. The other worshipper is a businessman who does transactions with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'll do such and such, you give me such and such. And they say that the third type of worshipper is the one who finds Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala worthy of worship. And that's the worship of being thankful. With me. So somebody should know that you prayed, for example, Maghribain right now. How does this Maghribain help you in your day-to-day life? Because we haven't thought of that, we pray Maghribain after that, we do exactly the opposite to what it's supposed to be. You know? One of the benefits of Salah, since we are already here, and you know, if we go through all of the features of Islam, it is not enough time. The benefit of Salah when you read in your day-to-day life is that it helps you to protect you from everything that is without purpose and everything that is a poison or fire to your soul. Lying is poison, it's fire to your soul. Salah is supposed to protect you from that. Salah is supposed to protect you from things that are purposeless. Right? PS4, for example, now you're looking at me. When you mention the gods of today, people start looking. For example, PS4, in whose worship and obedience you are going to spend 6 to 8 hours, that 6 to 8 hours is to a certain degree purposeless. 1 hour, 2 hours of PS4 is fine. Right? You need some sort of entertainment, you need to have, you know, these are the toys of today, that's fine. But when a person is spending 6 to 8 hours just playing PS4, if their salah is working, if they're getting the benefit, they would not have done that. Right? That was for our youth. Our elders, they will sit down and discuss matters that are purposeless for hours and hours, all night, 8 hours meeting, and in the end, nothing is solved. Salah was supposed to protect us from that. For example, backbiting is purposeless. When you backbite somebody, nothing happens to them. In reality, they benefit. Your good deeds are given to them. It's the easiest transaction. When I backbite you, you are at your house, you know, doing whatever that you are. My benefit of this whole recitation goes straight to you. When somebody swears at someone, it's purposeless. Swearing at someone does not make them that. You've been hearing the word, "I'm bored." How can you be bored when you have a limited amount of time in this world to be able to achieve that stature of the representative of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a true follower, a Shia of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, to be a father, to be a mother, to be a brother, to be a sister, with all of those duties? How can a person get bored? Do you know how small of a time we have? A person asked for comparison of this world and the hereafter. The Holy Prophet said, this world, if you were to take the ocean and you were to dip your finger in the ocean, just as the tip, whatever water comes on the tip of that finger is the life of this world. and whatever the ocean is the life of the hereafter. Right? Such a small amount of time we have to be able to live for the hereafter, and we have to achieve all of that in this frame of time, in that 70, 80 years. And we get bored. Boredom is partly one of the things that we can recite a salawat to think of. So mic is also a feature, the benefit that my voice reaches you, right? So if you get stuck with the mic is that I want to have the best of the best mic with the batteries being fully charged, and I want to have that particular brand, and I want to have all of that. Getting all of that and still my voice not reaching you, then what is the point of all of that? True? So, getting back to where we left you, right? If our salah is working, our time would be utilized with the things that has purpose. We would never have to say that I'm bored. We will not be going after those things that are not going to benefit us in this life or in the hereafter. But when the salah is not working, this is what we're going to end up, which we are seeing around us. And for our youths, we need to start talking about benefits. Okay? We need to talk about benefits, not just features. We need to talk about the benefits, for example, of alam. Okay? Because we don't talk about the benefits of alam, or we don't talk about the benefits of the features of azar, sometimes the questions that come into the minds of the youth is it really necessary? Because we don't talk about, for example, matam and the benefit of it, the youth starts thinking, okay, is it really necessary? No, let's revamp it, let's change it, let's refurbish it, let's delete and But trust me, every feature that you have of azar has a benefit behind it. Do you know that we are a visual being? Did you know that? That's why the best form of communication that you see is just those ads. The best form of programming a mind is the movies. If you want to program an individual, show them a movie. Once they have seen it, the individual in that movie, they will become that for a certain amount of time. Haven't you seen that if you, for example, went and saw Batman versus Superman, afterwards you've, seen it in the theaters after an hour and a half or 2 hours, you come out and you feel like you're Superman. Right? You're looking at me as if you don't see movies. I know you do. The best form of programming is visual effects. When you are on the road, the signs that are there, a lot of them don't even have words, for example. But by looking at them, you know what they mean. A picture, what is it? A painting is better than 1,000 words. Right? We are visual beings. Why do you think PowerPoint is so successful? Why do you think PowerPoint is so successful? It's because it's a visual aid. When people present, they have those visual aids. If you look at YouTube, majority of the things that you find in there are just visual. Why? Because we are a visual being. The alam is a visual that transforms and gets me close to something which is to the point of non-seeing. From something which is visual, it takes me to something which cannot be seen. Right? When I look at the alam of Hazrat Abbas ﷺ, I go towards that thing which is loyalty, which is unseen. Loyalty has effects that you can see, but actual loyalty cannot be seen. Right? As love is, love you cannot see. Right? But you can see the effects of it. When you look at the alam of Hazrat Abbas ﷺ, that visual effect gets you to see love. Something which is unseen. When I see that alam and I'm standing in front of it, I feel in humility towards the sacrifice that Hazrat Abbas gave in the obedience of the Imam of the time.
Oh, Malaysia, Malaysia.
Hazrat Abbas gave the sacrifice in the obedience of the Imam of the time, who was Imam Hussain. Not as the brother, but as the slave of the Imam of the time.
Oh.
And if somebody has told me all of these benefits, as soon as I look at the alam, I will get all of those benefits in a matter of a second. But if I just know of it, that it is a piece of cloth, and it has a wood, and it has that, matter of hand, to me it's just a feature standing there. Then the youth might say, or somebody might say, remove it. Why remove it? Why not let's just talk about the benefit, so that we can benefit from such a tremendous visual aid that nothing else can do that purpose. Right? And all that you see, there are many. If we go in detail, should we go another one?
Yeah.
Inshallah.
Yeah? Can you recite as I know? Salawat also has benefits. Salawat is one of the features of our mazhab, and it also is feature of actually every mazhab. It's the other thing that we don't know. It's a feature of every mazhab. All of the school of thoughts has this as a feature. One of the benefits of reciting salawat is that when you recite it loudly, as harmony, as synergy, and as all of the voices are there, it creates an energy, a vibration that is felt, and the person becomes rejuvenated. You want to try to see if it have that effect?
Muhammad wa ali Muhammad Blantar Salawat.
Can you feel it? Right? Now recite the salawat that's low voice, please. See the difference? Yeah? There are many benefits of salawat, but one of the ones that maybe I can tell you that we have it in traditions is that when you recite salawat, and the louder that you recite, or the more often that you recite, it takes away hypocrisy. And it's something that you and I maybe think that I'm not a hypocrite, but I think to a certain degree every single one of us has two faces. You have a face with your mother, you have a face with your father, you have a face with your wife, you have a face with the co-worker, you have a face with your boss, you have a face with the Maulana, you have a face with your children, you have a face with your sister. Don't you? I just said two, this is like more than two. There are so many times you think of something that you are going to do, you say you're going to do that, but you do the opposite. To a certain degree, we all have that particular thing. The more salawat that you recite and the louder that you recite, this hypocrisy slowly goes away. Meaning what? These emotional barriers that we have created for a persona of our own arrogance start dropping. And that person becomes just as sincere, loving, kind, respectful with everybody as they are with their elders or they are with anybody else. Have you seen the example of Imam Ali how he was with the young kids? How much respect and love he gave to the young kids? Do you know the example of the Holy Prophet, how he sat down and played with them in dirt? Right? So, inshallah, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless us, we will go through some of the more practical benefits of the features of Islam and the Aza as well. And the other reason why I have chosen this particular topic, because maybe some of you were not present yesterday, is because the environment that we live in has started to become very conducive for you to come out and say that I'm an atheist. Never ever before the environment was so conducive. If a person would come out and say, I'm an atheist, that person would be shunned by Christians, they would be shunned by the Jews, they would be shunned by any Sikhs or Hindus and so forth that had faith. They would say, what are you saying? We are excommunicate you. We are going to, we're not going to talk to you anymore. And today it has become fashion. It's becoming a fad. People coming out and saying, I'm an atheist. It's actually one of the fastest growing religion in the world. And believe me, it is a religion, because their belief that there is no God is still a belief. There is no scientific or logical or any of the proof that God does not exist. It is still a belief. Just as I believe that He exists, and you call me that I have a religion, just like that an atheist saying that I don't believe that He exists. Because they cannot tell you 100% absolute scientific proof in a lab that God does not exist. So it's still a belief. And they have churches. They can go in there, and I don't know what they do for worship, but they can go in there. And the reason why they are becoming so successful and this religion is growing so fast, and I'm afraid for every one of you here, is because we, the individuals who were supposed to propagate and make people understand the benefits so that they know that this is a need. It's not a privilege to have religion. It is a need that you cannot replace with anything in this world. We needed to tell them that this is a way of life that is going to give you success in this world. It is going to give us peace and justice in this world. And those individuals, in the name of religion, have shed blood. They have created injustice. They have created prejudice. They have created all of the ills that these individuals whose religion is growing faster, they point fingers towards. And we don't have answers for them. We're always on the back foot. They're saying that if you join my religion, you're going to be progressive, you're going to be part of the people who are scientists, the part of the people who are, for example, the best IQ individuals, who have the highest IQ, who have all of these, degrees in physics and in astrology and astronomy, and they are the best of the best. They are actors, they are movie stars, they are, basketball players, they are this, all of them have that. When you look at you, you're not even, for example, such and such, you're just so backward and you're this or you're that. If we don't do anything about it right now, my fear of it is that we're going to have individuals come out and start saying these words. So inshallah, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses us for the next 8 days or so that we are with you, we're going to try. Right? We will try to tell you what is the benefit of your beard and what is the loss of not having a beard. We will tell you what are the benefits, and if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills, I can explain that to you through, if He wills, through science. There's one form of science which I really love, and we don't have the time to discuss it, is quantum theory. Quantum theory is something that says that everything that religion says is true. It says that whatever religion says is true. The only problem has been with science and religion is when you ask a person of faith, how does dua, your prayer, works and make somebody better? What is the process? They cannot tell you the process. But the quantum theory says we can tell you the process. And if quantum computer actually, which might exist already, once it is there, a quantum computer which is the size of a laptop will be able to do more than all of the computing and all of the computers that are out there. Once this theory becomes available for everybody, and once I think the quantum computing is there, and people start seeing the benefit, they will be inclined towards it. Every textbook in your university, college, elementary school, kindergarten is going to change. Every single form of books in every science is going to change. And there are activists who are actually, going out and proving in universities and giving seminars and proving that God exists through science. Right? So inshallah, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills, we'll maybe talk a little bit about that. Because I want you to understand that what you have, you don't, or I don't realize what is the worth of it. Because it is that precious. It is that valuable. If it was not that valuable, the event of Karbala, all of that sacrifice would not have been given. The family of the Holy Prophet sacrificed themselves. They were imprisoned. To do what? To save their religion. To save Tawheed. To save oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To save the work of 124,000 prophets. If this religion was just as useless as you and I maybe think, then there is no point of that sacrifice. If it can be replaced and thrown away, then what was the point of that sacrifice in Karbala? The reason there was a point, because it is that precious. The companions of Imam Hussain they fought because they knew that this is the only thing that is going to give them that ultimate success. They had no doubt that what they were doing. One of those individuals, and again I will tell you, I said to you yesterday too, and I'm sorry if I'm not able to talk so much about the companions of Imam Hussain because there's other things that I need to take care of, but I want you to do your research. I want you to go home and look and search up, as a Muslim ibn also just search up Hazrat Hur, search up Hazrat Habib, search up the companions of Imam Hussain. All the list is there. Even if you just understand one sentence of theirs, because you and I are in debt. We are in debt to those individuals who sacrificed in Karbala, so that today you can have that face of Islam that was brought through the prophets. We're in debt to them. Hazrat Hur is a great example for the youths. You know why? Not because of his age, but because of what he did. Hazrat Hur was the individual who stopped Imam Hussain salam. Hazrat Hur, in his eyes, and he did, for a moment, commit an atrocity. He committed sin. But then he realized that what I have done is wrong. I need to go and ask for forgiveness. And he comes with his hands tied, with his back lowered. He comes to Imam Hussain and says, "My master, I seek your forgiveness." And that conversation led to Imam Hussain forgiving him and saying to him that you are today as your mother named you. You are free. And our youths, if you have committed a sin, if you have committed a life of sin, look at the example of Hazrat Hur. All you require is humility, bow down, ask through the means of Imam Hussain that, just as you made Hur a free man, I wish to become free too. I wish to become free from my lowly desires. I wish to become free from my bad habits. I wish to become free of the sins that I've committed. Because if nobody knows, if I die right now, I do not know where I would land. Today I have the opportunity to sit down, to ask for forgiveness, to shed a tear for Imam Hussain, to do whatever I can so that my sins are forgiven. I don't know if tomorrow I will have the opportunity. Hazrat Hur is an example for me, and he motivates. He says that, even if you have gone to the point of no return, if you show humility and ask for true forgiveness, the means are there. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not stop His forgiveness if you were to say it for the sake of Imam Hassan, if you were to say it for Imam Hussain, if you were to say it for the sake of Bibi Fatima, if you were to say for the sake of Imam Ali, for the sake of the Holy Prophet, for the sake of Aimma, for the sake of Bibi Sakina, for the sake of Hazrat al-Yasghar. You and I have that opportunity every day when you come to the Majlis. Ask for forgiveness. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive all of the sins that we have committed. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the opportunity to take the example of the companions of Imam Hussain as our leaders, as our masters. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the character of Hazrat Hur. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the character of Hazrat Habib. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the character of Hazrat Muslim ibn Osajah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the character and the ability and the power to become the best of His creation. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide our youths and give them the power to be able to see the need of religion. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give the elders the opportunity to have the patience that is required to show the benefit of this religion. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give the ulama the ability to be able to explain this great religion of ours to the point where humanity can accept it as the only form of their savior, and for the justice and peace that we are waiting for. May the Imam of the time come as soon as possible and we become his companions. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Al-Asr. إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر.